What's up, y'all? Welcome to the nice edition of the Clown Hour, brought to you by the Clown Time Sports blog. By the way, get the merch. Anyway, we're going to have lots of NBA talk tonight. The NBA playoffs, the Kawhi Leonard-led LA Clippers. Are they doomed against the Dallas Mavericks? Talk about the Lakers, my Knicks. You know, they're getting their asses beat tonight by the Hawks, but that's okay. They're down 1-0. And another NBA playoff related news. We're going to touch upon some more HBCU sports tidbits, lots of big news that's happening this week in the world of HBCU sports, as well as some random shit in the end that we didn't touch on. And by the way, hit the subscribe button. You'd be glad you did, and I'd be glad you did. We're going to have a lot of fun. So in a few minutes, until then, be holla at y'all. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever it may be. This is Scott Burks with the Clown Hour podcast. My co-host, Dwayne Nash. Y'all check him out on HBCU Sports, rest about all things HBCU Sports, as well as Sleazy Radio every Tuesday night on Facebook Live. And also check out his great work on herosports.com, where he talks about FCS athletics, especially as it pertains to HBCU sports. And as for your boy here, please check out my blog, The Klown Times. That's Klown, spell like this. I'll get to the merchant later, but spell like this. So www.theclowntimes.net. And you can find me on Facebook as well. So whether you're your smartphone, desktop, laptop, wherever you are in the world, just type in The Klown Times, do a search. You'll find me there as well. Interesting memes related to the NBA playoffs. I think you'll find hilarious if you check it out. Two more things. Please hit the subscribe button. We've been getting new subscribers the last couple of nights. We're up. I'll go ahead and say it since I rebooted the channel only last November. We're up to 82 subscribers. So, which is great from 7. We started at 7 subscribers. We're now at 82. So I'm pretty proud. I'm still grinding. Thank y'all for the support, and please continue to spread the word and comment. Hit the likes. Even if you dislike, I don't care. Just do it. Just do whatever. And last but not least, get the merch, please. Get the merch. CafePress.com. Do a search for the Clown Time Sports, and the address actually be in the description once we upload this to YouTube tomorrow. So you will find it there as well. So we got a whole lot of NBA to get into today. Well, I should say tonight. Both our teams are playing right now. My beloved Knicks are playing the Hawks. They're getting beat by double digits right now. We'll get to that in a moment. And of course, my man's Wizards is playing right now. We'll talk about that in a moment. He's not happy about that.
Not at all.
But we're going to start with the LA teams. The Lakers, as I pretty much everyone in the world figured out would happen, especially with Chris Paul having one arm, unfortunately, which sucks for Phoenix. Such a great story. But anyway, the Lakers won game 2 as expected, and probably is going to win the series at this point if Chris Paul can't come back, because he's playing with one arm, and that one arm being his off arm, because he hurt his right arm, his shooting arm. So anyway, and also the Clippers, being the Clippers, down 0-2 to the Mavericks, going to Dallas for games 3 and 4. That series, I think, is over. I think they should be packing their bags. And Doc Rivers somewhere is laughing his ass off. But we're going to go with the Lakers first. So, D, again, it sucks for Phoenix that they won't have Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Probably for this next couple of games 3 and 4. Which probably, if things play out as predicted, they'll be coming back to Phoenix down 3-1 in the do or die game 5 for them. Which again, I guess, it sucks for Phoenix. But anyway, that said, LA played a much better, much smarter game. Anthony Davis played really pissed off because he took the blame for the loss of game 1, as he should have.
As you should have.
A man his size has no damn business being on the perimeter. Take your ass on the block. No one can stop you on the block. No one can stop you from driving the ball to the block. Stop trying to be a perimeter man and get your big ass down there. That's the whole thing. And he did that. And no, you can't, which means you can't blame Andre Drummond. He got his. All right. So Anthony Davis, take your big ass down there, and don't let these stupid ass people like Skip Bayless state that Andre Drummond should be taken out of the game, which again is stupid. But anyway, give me your thoughts on the Lakers winning game 2. Was it more Anthony Davis? Like LeBron, he was efficient as well. But what to you, what stood out the most game 2's win for the Lakers last night?
I mean, outside of course, Chris Paul's limited play because of his injury. The second thing, of course, has to be Anthony Davis, and the job that he put out there in game 2. Now, just like any good big man, I'm gonna need you to start playing down low first and being dominant down there before you start playing on the perimeter. I understand that's today's game, but dude, you 7'40". Put your back to the basket, do what you do down low.
All right.
And then from there, you go ahead and start stretching your game out. And as any quality big man does, once you're dominating down low, you get to control the situation. Hey, KwameBrown, when you're dominant down low, you get to ask for the ball and pull up points. And you don't have to worry about people talking about your career being a bust.
He's going to talk about you next. You know, he's going to talk about you next, man.
That's what I want. That's what I want. I want all the smoke, Kwame. And
there
I
you
ain't
go.
got time, baby.
Nice.
But yeah, that's what you do in that situation. As great as well, as good. I'm not gonna call him great yet.
Sure.
But as good as DeAndre Ayton is, they don't have the dogs to stop Anthony Davis down low. They don't. So once you're capable of getting him going, as go he, so go the Lakers.
Right.
And of course, that's why LeBron knew that, and that's why he wanted to go ahead and get him a young big dog down there to do it, because he's gotten to the point where he doesn't want to do it anymore. And I understand, because he's getting older, he's getting slower. Good, it is what it is. But he's still LeBron James, and he's still one of the top 10 best players in the league right now, and on the planet right now. So yeah, run through him. Why not? It makes perfect sense.
Right.
But yeah, I'm highly concerned for the Phoenix Suns. I don't know if they necessarily rebound without Chris Paul. If anything, they probably still won without them, because I mean they got a lot of young talent, and we've seen before that the LA Lakers do have the propensity of beating themselves, especially if they have issues with holding on to the ball. But yeah, if this is one of those ideal situations for the LA Lakers and for them making their run throughout the playoffs, right? It'll be a tune-up. I always thought that this would be a tune-up situation for them to get them battle tested for the playoffs. But now to do so without the second best player on the Phoenix Suns and basically the guy that keeps the Suns running. Yeah, this is a great situation to go ahead and get them playoff ready and make a run for another championship opportunity.
You know what also helps is you have cats like Dennis Schroeder, who go for 24 points. You know, 8 or 16 from the field, so that was huge. They need. I'm looking at the score right, Bucks score. They need to get more production from the bench still. I mean, they only had what my quick math tells me 13 points off the bench. I mean, you gotta do better than that if you're the Lakers.
You know what? That's one of the things that they survived off of last year.
Yeah,
they got great defensive play from the bench, but their bench didn't score a ton of points. It was basically the LeBron and AD show,
right? And
then of course they got great play from Kuzma and God, who else was there? And Rondo, but Rondo was coming off the bench too at times. But yeah, if they can continue to get high production from their starters, they won't need their bench as much. They'll just basically need their bench, of course, for minutes and to play defense and the rebound.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. I mean, because Kyle Kuzma, he needs to be more consistent. We've been saying that all year, right? People supposed to be saying all year, Kyle Kuzma needs to be more consistent. But they really, well, again, to your point, the Lakers played great enough defense to compensate for the poor bench play right now as far as production, offensive production. But I mean, they just need to step it up if they really have aspirations to.
Yeah, if they want to win a championship, yeah, they most definitely do. But you know what, though? The way that the rest of the Western Conference is playing right now, they might not need but so much, especially as it pertains to the top seeds. And I know we'll talk about that in just a moment.
Oh yeah. And speaking of others, let's start with the tenants, the basement dwellers, the LA Clippers.
They're roommates. Yeah.
Man, what? I don't get it. Well, I do get it. Now? I do get it. Dallas is just better than the Clippers. I mean, let's go and say it. The coolest things about the best of 7 series, man, is that no matter what, you 10 times out of 10, or 9.9 times out of 10, I should say, the better team wins the series, especially if it goes best of 5, especially, excuse me, if it goes best of 7, excuse me, best of 7. I mean, let's look at it. Again, Luka Doncic, my man, 39 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 16 to 29 from the floor, including he wasn't that great for 3-point range, 5 of 13. He's terrible. He's for a dude who could score so well, so easily. He's terrible from the free throw line. He's only 2 of 7.
Yeah.
So he's essentially stopping himself. But the point is, dude, they've been hitting half the shit they throw up. I mean, the Mavericks were like, the 18th best 3-point shooting team going into the playoffs.
Okay.
They hit 13 to 24 from last night. Over 54, almost 55% from 3. Okay. I'm sorry. No, 18. I'm sorry. That's a free throw. The free throw was terrible.
Oh my God.
Let's go to show you.
But you said 15 to 24 for the free throw line?
13 to 24. So
that's
basically,
even worse.
Yes, again, they suffered themselves. This would have been a blowout if they hit like maybe 7 or 8 of their free throws. But the point is this: they were 18 to 34. That's the number I was looking for. 18 to 34 from 3. That's a 53% clip. They shot almost 60% from the field, right?
Yeah, it's tough to lose when you shoot 60 from the field, dude. I don't care who you are.
And it's one thing for Luka to get off, but if you allow Tim Hardaway Jr., who's a damn good player, don't get me wrong, damn good player. If you allow him to go for 28 points, 6 of 8 from 3-point shoot, from 3-point land. Kristaps Porzingis, my favorite whipper boy in his early years in the Knicks, before he proved that he was a baller, he went for 20 last night, including 3 or 4 from 3. What can you do with that?
You can't do anything with it at all. First and foremost, Kristaps returning after his COVID stint for game 2, which I'll get back to a little bit later with our random shit segment, right? So Kristaps comes back. Tim Hardaway Jr. That's someone who will get you about 15, 18 a game, right?
Yeah.
But when you let him shoot the way that he shoots, the way that he shot last night, that's dangerous. And with that said, the LA Clippers are running out of people to blame because they ran everybody else out of town.
Doc Rivers, remember him?
Rivers,
yep.
Paul, DeAndre Jordan. What's your boy's name? Light-skinned boy that's in Brooklyn now.
Shaman. Landry Shaman. I think Shaman.
No, the dunker.
Oh yeah. Blake Griffin. Blake
Griffin.
Yeah.
Dude, you're running out of dudes to blame now. You got a whole new crop there.
Right.
Playoff. Well, I'm not gonna call him playoff P because he keeps showing he ain't playoff P. Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. Who's the head coach out there now?
Ty Lue.
Yeah. Who?
He was his assistant last year. Rivers' assistant last year. His top assistant.
Who you blaming now?
They're soft.
Who you blaming now?
The Cottonelles. They're changing the names to the Cottonelles.
Dude, they're like Ghostface Killer used to say, man, they baby thigh soft.
Yes.
And this is very easily looks like this could be a gentleman sweep situation if Dallas takes care of business at home.
I don't think they'll be gentlemen about it. They're going to straight up sweep them. They won't go 5 games. That's just going to be 3, 4. Done. They're done. The Clippers are done, dude. They're DUN done. They're done. If they win a game in Dallas, I will be shocked.
Dude,
Beyond shocked.
Last year, people were just standing around like, I don't know what the problem is, but wait until next year. Next year's here. Now what?
Right.
Now what?
Right.
So, oh my God, dude. They can't get right. They just can't get right.
Nope.
I have no idea what's going on with that organization because it's an organizational issue now. It has to be.
Well,
and it's not even an ownership because the owner that we wanted to blame got ran out a couple of years ago himself.
For being racist, yeah. So you have a guy now who's a real owner who's spending money on top talent, who's very hype. We love the man, Steve Ballmer. Ballmer is a baller, right? But again, the Clippers are just tissue paper soft. They're soft. They have no leaders. Look at it. They got the best players aren't even leaders, which is not their fault. But that's not who they are. Kawhi Leonard is not a guy, is not a raw guy. He's quiet.
Yeah.
He leads by example, as does Paul George. And then when Paul George starts to run this, to speak out, you see all the people across the league ridiculing him, calling him Pandemic P, calling him soft for, unfortunately, admitting he had mental health issues, which no one should pick at that.
No one should joke on that.
No one. But to show you, give you an idea how little respected he is and low regard he's been held, people call him soft. His own contemporaries in the league call him soft. Devin Booker goes after him.
Wow.
He went after him hard when they were playing each other. Went after him hard, called him a bitch ass. He called him a bitch ass or a weak ass. One of them, it had involved the word ass. Okay. And we all know what happened with Steph Curry.
Yeah.
How that dynamic is
with
someone's daughter who one married and one used to date, and one's daughter of a certain coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he has some words to say. So he's not well respected. Let's put it that way. As much as hard as he works, he's not well respected. Paul George it is. And you get Pat Bev and all those guys. And speaking of which, I want to ask Ty Lue one question. Just one question. Why the hell are you not starting Rajon Rondo, aka Playoff Rondo? Why you give him less minutes than Patrick Beverly?
My guess is for defensive purposes. That's my only guess.
They're the same size.
Yeah. And you know what? The bad thing is Pat Beverly has been getting abused by Luka. Yeah.
Yes. He's 6'3". He's shorter than me. He's shorter than me trying to guard. And so many questions. Why the hell you have Patrick Beverly, I don't think he's 6'2", on a 6'8" Luka Doncic? Why?
Yeah, I'm looking at their starting lineup.
Why?
I'm trying to understand why. I understand why, because I guess they want hype down low to cover that big lineup of Dallas's. But Zubac looks like he's becoming what's the word I'm looking for here when you're just in the way. He's been a detriment to that lineup. Yeah, it would be nice if they put in Batum or even Ibaka, who has playoff experience. My guess is that he's not looking good in practice. He's not looking good enough in practice in order to get any run. Because if he's getting outplayed by Zubac in practice, why is he even there in LA? If you're looking for his veteran presence on the court, why is he even there?
Yeah.
He only played 6 minutes last night, but Kawhi did what he could. He put up 41 last night.
He had 30 in the first half, though. 30 of those came in the first half. He ran out of gas in the second half, I guess. And Paul George had an efficient game. They both shot over 50% from the floor.
Yeah.
And Paul George had 12 rebounds, 6 assists. Not bad numbers.
But
look, to your point, you made the point earlier. I'm not in those practices. I'm not in those practices with Ty Lue. I'm not watching the guys. But this is what I would do. I would take the tape, Toronto's game tape from 2 years ago, when they went down 0-2 to the Milwaukee Bucks in the Eastern Conference Championship Series. And then Toronto went on to win the next 4 games. Remember how they won the next 4 games? Do you remember how? They made a specific defensive switch that changed the momentum of the series.
That's
they
right.
They put Kawhi Leonard as the primary defender on Giannis. That's what that coach did. And that turned the series. The only problem with this woman is they're going to be going to Dallas.
Yeah.
They're not going back home to LA. They're going to Dallas down 0-2. But I would still do the same thing if I'm Ty Lue. Make Kawhi Leonard the primary defender on Luka. Make him bother him. And you know what? If I'm them too, I would not double on to Luka. I would make Luka work. I'll let Kawhi Leonard take him to work on defense. And if I'm them, I would make a switch to put out a Paul George or Kawhi to go at him on the pick and roll on offense to wear Luka down. And I will, again, single cover Luka on defense, maybe switch up Kawhi in the first half with Paul George in the second half, if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Those are the best defenders. And just don't play. If you must play Pat Beverly, don't start his ass. Don't let him anywhere near Luka. If he start bugging on to guard Luka, tell him to shut the fuck up and get this little ass out of the way. Put in Rajon Rondo. If he's not starting, make him the 6th man and give him a lot more minutes. Give him starters minutes. Okay? But going back to Luka, I would single cover him and put mitts on the rest of the squad and make the rest of the squad beat them with contested shots. That's how you get back in the series to you, the Clippers.
Yeah.
Because
the question is,
go ahead.
Will Tyronn make these adjustments or not?
Right.
I mean, of course he's going to make adjustments because he's an NBA coach, right? I can't sit here and act he better, right?
He bet he's going to get swept.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what type of adjustments he actually makes and whether or not they actually work or not. But that's the biggest thing will be, who are they going to put on Luka to slow him down? Because they're not going to stop him. Who are you going to do? What are you going to do to slow him down? Because having Luka get hot gets everybody else hot. So you're going to have to slow him down and force everyone else to make more plays.
Right. Again, you don't have to double them.
No.
Make Kawhi in the first half or whatever, and Paul George in the second half. Whatever you do, make those 2 guys the primary defender. And even when Dallas runs pick and roll, you could double them then. Double them off the pick and roll. And then again, make everybody else beat them.
Yeah.
That's how you get back in the series. Because on paper, the Clippers are much better than Dallas on paper.
Yeah. You would
they're not playing
it,
like
right?
it like round.
But they're not playing like it.
I mean, and props to, speaking of coaching, props to the underappreciated Rick Carlisle.
Yeah.
He knows what the hell he's doing, folks. He's won a title. He's a made man as a coach. He won that title against a heavily favored Heat team with the Heatles. LeBron, D. Wade, and Chris Bosh in their primes. He beat that squad. Went down 0-2. No, I'm sorry. It was 1-1.
It was 1-1.
They lost game 3 in Dallas. Then they won the last 3 of that series. So after they lost home court in
making defensive adjustments.
Exactly.
That's still one of the more memorable dissections of a series that I've ever heard even a team owner break down. But when the way he did it was so belittling, I guess, to those.
Smart Cuban, what do you expect?
Yeah, but he was like, dude.
I love the guy too. Too.
And his son had to have been like at the time under 10 years old. He was like, my son figured it out. We just figured out it's on YouTube. It was done on whatever the ESPN show was at the time, the morning show with Stephen A. Smith. But yeah, he broke down how they made defensive adjustments him and Carlisle and how they ended up stopping that Heat team. But yeah, he is completely underrated because he's in Dallas, and let's be real, Dallas is basically made up of a bunch of international players. And unfortunately, international players aren't sexy outside of those that watch basketball on a regular.
Right. Which is unfortunate. But I mean, again, I've been a big fan of Carlisle's for
and he's
years.
not vocal. He's not vocal. He's not a character.
No, he's a no bullshit.
Not a personality.
He's a no bullshit kind of guy. He gets the job done. He's a grinder. He doesn't grind on his guys. He's not a bullshitter.
Yeah.
He's very smart. He's very tactical.
Yeah.
And he's coaching his rings around Ty Lue right now. So again, if I'm Ty Lue, listen, Ty, where's my camera? What's the thing? Look, Ty Lue, make Kawhi and Paul George the primary defenders on Luka. When they're on him, do not double him. Make the rest of the squad beat them. If they stay hot, hey, tip your hats off to them. But unless it comes on the pick and roll, you could double them then. But you gotta make the other guys beat you.
Yeah. But you would expect this team, you would expect them to play a whole lot better than what they do defensively with the guys that they have on that roster, with Serge Ibaka, with Kawhi Leonard, and with Patrick Beverly, and with the Morse brother. You'd expect them to do so.
Right.
We're just not seeing it.
No, you're not. And that's the thing, is that this is going to be a quick run. You have no one else to blame now. It can't say that other teams got lucky if you get your asses swept in the first round. Right, Skip Bayless? So, yeah. Speaking of annoying folks, Kyrie Irving, when Brooklyn goes back to Boston in Game 3, this is the reason why I'm glad they're letting fans back in the arena. There may not be a full capacity like it is in other arenas, but the fact that you have, I think they're going to have expect over 10,000 fans actually, so it's going to be pretty vocal.
It's pretty close, yeah.
I'm interested for that reception they're going to give Kyrie Irving. But Kyrie Irving had it off at the pass. You saw what he did? He said, hopefully they won't be racist or something like that. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
He's had it off at the pass. He's trying to head off at the pass. I mean, keep in mind, obviously we both know, and everyone knows, if you're a white guy, if you happen to be a white fan and boo a dude from the opposite team who happens to be black or non-white, you're not being racist. Well, I think we all know that, right?
No, say it again, because I missed the last part.
If you're a white guy, a fan, booing a dude from the other team who happens to be black, that does not make you a racist.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. But you know what does? Dropping an M-bomb.
Yes.
And you know who's notorious for that? The city of Boston. I'm just saying, they are. They are.
And Utah and Salt Lake City, but that's not here nor there.
But yeah, let me take you back. Brief history lesson. You know, not necessarily a huge hockey fan, but follow it from time to time. What year was that? That had to have been, maybe 2012, 2011, 2012. I forget the guy's name who played with the Capitals. Black guy, scored a goal that got the Caps a huge win against the Bruins in a series. You know how many M-bombs he was that day on social media or that night? A whole lot. And what does it have in common? City of Boston. Just saying. I'm just saying. Rooting against someone of the opposite race doesn't make you racist. But when you hurl racist epithets at them, that does. That does. And unfortunately, with that city's history, it's known. And he said it. He was like, there are a lot of other players that will attest to this. You know what? You ain't even got to ask them. You can ask this guy on a trip I had when I was a teenager. I mean, I ain't catch a whole lot, but even a little bit, I was like, ooh, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable here. And we're north of the wow.
Well, you know what?
Special.
If we want to be honest about our country's history as far as race relations, people, and again, this is a quick aside right quick. We'll get back to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
if you look at everything from housing discrimination, segregation, everything else, it was the same everywhere in the country. The only difference was it was legal in the South. That's the only difference. They had such a thing called de facto segregation in the North, the Midwest, and the West Coast, where it was understood you can't go here. It was understood you can't live in this neighborhood. It was understood that you can't work places A, B, and C. It was understood. It wasn't law, but it was understood. And the biggest irony of all that was those Northerners had the nerve to look down on the Southerners.
Yeah.
But they were in the same vein.
They're doing the same thing.
Which was it's interesting. If you were to do a anthropological, I can't pronounce the word, but the point is, if you do a study of all the cities, major cities' history, especially in the Midwest, it'll make your jaw drop.
Yeah, especially in the Midwest.
If you make it will make your jaw drop. In the Midwest alone, the major cities in the Midwest alone, it will make your jaw drop. But that's, again, I don't want to get off too much on that. That's not our vein. But for those of you out there who want to do a quick lesson and educate yourselves, please Google. Please Google that, because you would learn a lot if you just do some self-study and get some information. But that's our sociological tidbit for for the show. We're here for you. We're here to educate and entertain. Combine that, infotain. That's what we do. But getting back to all that with Boston. Of course, the great Bill Russell, what he and his family from team said about Boston too. See, Kyrie, there's a problem with Kyrie Irving though. He's not the most likable dude in the world. I respect him, his social justice work. I respect his intelligence. He's a very smart dude. Sometimes too smart for his own good. He's a flat earther.
Yeah.
But anyway, the point is that he's a different bird. He takes personal days during the season. He walks the beat of his own drum.
Yeah.
So one could argue is last year.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so about Boston, I just think that one could argue that he single-handedly threw off Boston's chemistry. Because remember, this first year in Boston, he and Gordon Hayward got hurt. And the squad of a very young Jaylen Brown, and I think a rookie at the time, Jason Tatum, took Boston to one game short of making the NBA Finals against the Celtics.
Yeah.
Against the LeBron led.
Cavaliers, yeah.
And that was the game in Game 7 where Jason Tatum dunked on LeBron James in the fourth quarter, gave him a mean mug. That was awesome. But anyway, Boston fans look at Kyrie Irving and think, God damn it. You messed us up the year 2 years ago, his last year there, they won the first game in Milwaukee in the second round. They swept the Pacers, remember, in the first round. Then they won game 1 against Milwaukee, and then could proceed to lose the remaining 4 games. They got gentlemen swept by a large fashion, by a large amount. I might add. And so throughout the year, he threw his young teammates on the bus saying that they don't have what it takes to win. Then he went from, I want it for one to be re-signed to Boston. Remember that quote? I want to come back if you can have me. To like ask me on June the 12th or what it was when Fred was gone. So they and his teammates at the time, I think Jaylen Brown was one of them. Reported was hoping to pack his bags for him. So it was a bad chemistry experiment. But they rebounded the following year. We all know what happened last year in the bubble. They came very close. Again, this close to going to the NBA Finals to play the Lakers, which would have been Boston, LA, Lakers part, wherever the hell it was, part 1,000 at this point. But anyway, the point is that again, well, Boston this year underachieved because of injuries and such. They still look at Kyrie Irving and blame him. So Kyrie's coming back to the Garden. I can't wait to watch that game. I think it's tomorrow night. I'm not for certain. I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head. But it should be fun. I'm looking forward to the Kyrie sucks chants. And I'm looking forward to, hopefully Boston will step it because they got blown out the first two games. It looked like they didn't belong on the same floor with Brooklyn. And that still may be the case. But I want to see how game 3 looks like. If the energy's there, I gave Boston a game or 2 of this series. I think I gave them 2 games in the series.
Game 3 is Friday.
Okay, it's Friday. Damn, Friday. Okay. That's a long gap. Well, not really a long gap, but still, because they played last night. But I'm looking forward to that game just for them to get back at Kyrie Irving, because it's been a year in the waiting. Year in the making, year plus in the making, because of last year with COVID, and they didn't get and plus when they played in Boston last year, he was hurt, so it didn't suit up. I don't think he made the trip. So, but he has to be there now, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Game 3 is gonna be fun, off the court.
Game 3 and 4, yeah. Oh yeah.
But the Celtics they have to win game 3, obviously, right? But I give them a puncher's chance because they played at home, but Brooklyn's a better team. Again, I give them a game early. I give them 2 games before the series started. I think they may only win just 1. But what are your thoughts on that? Like, what can Boston do to make this competitive at this point?
Oh man, I was anticipating them coming out and looking like the way that they did against the Washington Wizards, but surprise, the Boston that we saw during the season came back. That's the only way that they're going to end up being competitive in this series. I don't see them winning this series at all, especially the way that they've looked over the last 2 games. And then I basically see that as being the way that this series goes, and the only way that they can end up at least getting a game or 2 out of this is to end up having big nights from their big guys. And God, once again, without Jaylen Brown, it's going to be tough. So
that's huge.
That's the only way I see that happening is, you're going to need another 40, 50-point night out of somebody on that squad in order for them to get at least a dub.
Right. You know what? Yeah, it's too bad because you want to see teams at their full strength, right? But with no Jaylen Brown, it's going to be a long night for Boston. Even though they'll be back in the Garden, even though they don't have the Kyrie sucks chance, it's going to be a long night. Speaking of long nights, let's fast forward to tonight for our teams. I'll start with my Knicks. I'll spare you. I'll start with my Knicks. We all know that we lost game 1 last game 1 on thanks to Trae Young and his little ass hitting that beautiful floater to shock us, including that dubious play call at the end of the game with Julius Randle. I still don't understand that. But speaking of Julius Randle, he won the most improved player, deservedly so.
Yeah, congratulations.
Deservedly so. But he's not only is he not playing well, he's losing a lot of money. Tonight, he's 2 of 9 from the field. Only 8 points, 8 rebounds. But he's their best player. He's our best player. RJ Bell's our leading scorer. No, I'm sorry. Derrick Rose is our leading scorer off the bench right now. He's playing his ass off. But
yeah, he is.
Julius Randle is not looking good. He is not looking good this series at all. And, if I'm not mistaken, he had a worse game in game 1. Okay, for those folks out there who I had him as a sleeper MVP candidate. I mean, in game one, I got my stats here. 6 of 23 from the field.
Yeah.
6 of 23 from the field. He scored 15, what, though? But still, that's not efficient.
He's on pace to match that tonight.
Yeah.
Again.
He's not playing well. He's not showing up in the playoffs at all. I'm thinking the pressure's getting to him, man. The
pressure's getting to him. Yeah.
The player pressure. It's getting to him. But I guess this is what it is at this moment. I mean, Atlanta's still playing well. I mean, Trae Young has 24 points right now. DeAndre Hunter, 17 points. Bogdanovich still hitting shots. He has 16 points. They're playing again. Give props to the Hawks. Nick McMillan. I'm a fan of Nick McMillan's. He's the interim coach right now. He got just the run out of town in Indiana, I think. I know. By the way, they may not have their coach for too long after only a season. That's another story for another time. I'm talking about the Pacers. But I mean, Atlanta's playing well. And it looks like if we don't get our shit together, this may be another sweep. Again, the Hawks don't look nothing like the team that got swept by the Knicks during the regular season. And that goes against, again, to coach it. As much as I love Coach Tom Thibodeau, as much as I love him with what he's done on the defensive end, the culture he's instilled in New York City, his teams had stepped up. I mean, again, your best player only has 9 points on 2 of 9 shooting. So, I mean, there's not much you can do about that.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want to blame that on Tibbs. You can only
I'm not.
do as much as you can as a coach. Yeah, you just got to hope that your stars can go out there and play.
Randall needs
and
to
it's not like
yeah.
It's not like I'm calling Rondo. It's not like Randall is Rondo. He's your star on your team, but he's not playing like it, and he of course needs to play better. And it's starting to seem like it's a mental thing with him having to be the lead dog on a team in the playoffs. It's the first time he's ever had to do that.
Yeah.
And it's an adjustment for him. So, I'm hoping that he can get it together soon enough so that this organization can rebound. But as of right now, the way it looks, it's going to be an uphill battle for them.
Yeah.
But I don't even want to look at that either, dude. I'll look at that. We'll talk about that in a moment.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Oh my God, dude. So might as well talk about it now. Wizards are looking horrible right now.
Yeah, they are.
And I know that they normally have been looking bad on the road. So far in the playoffs, of course, they're about to be 0-3 on the road, and they look a whole lot better at home. The thing is, though, I'm going to need for them to make some adjustments. Without looking, at a lot of the stats of what was going on with Philly and what their big guys are doing. The one thing that stood out to me, and it's the one thing that I hate to see, especially from this individual, but it happens a lot on the road, is Russell Westbrook. Is Russell Westbrook getting it up right now? He's shooting 2 for 10 right now, dude.
Yeah. He's never been all that
2 for 10.
He's never been all that efficient. You know what I mean? He takes a lot of bad shots. He plays 100 miles an hour, which, I mean, God bless him for that. But
yeah,
it's out of control at times, too.
But yeah, that's the thing, because, normally when he does it, especially at home, it's fine. But when it's out of control, it's out of control. And it's way out of control tonight. And Bradley can't do it by himself. Yeah, he has 33 tonight, but he can't do it by himself.
Right.
And that's what it looks like right now. So hopefully, they come back home and they get a little bit more comfortable. The thing is, though, unfortunately, what they can't do, well, I don't know. Let me hear what I'm saying, what I don't know. Well, I'll just go ahead and pull it up right now while I can find out.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. So they kept Tobias reasonable. They kept him at 19. But Ben Simmons, of course, is playing a lot better. What you would expect. The thing is that they couldn't allow Tobias Harris to have another 30-point night. And thankfully they didn't. The thing is that it'll help them because they're not playing up to their points per game average either right now. Currently under 100 with about less than 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. If they can go ahead and get back to their normal point total, which I think that they will once they get back home and be comfortable and play like this, this game, the games in DC will be a lot tighter. That's if though. So I'll wait and hold my judgment until then. But they know what they need to do when they get here in DC. They're having a hard time of it, as they normally do on the road against playoff caliber teams.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do you think your beloved Wizards have to do to make it a series, to make it competitive?
I told you they had to
yeah. I mean, I'm trying to process. Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to process because I'm trying to think. Bradley Beal can go off for whatever. We all know that.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook's the ultimate wild card. I'm looking
he
at
needs
that.
to be more consistent.
I'm just looking at the other squad. I'm just looking at
better play from everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because who can match the firepower of Philly? I mean, it's hard. I don't know. As much as I want to see y'all do well in the playoffs, man, this is tough.
It's very tough.
It's a tough
and
matchup.
Even more so tough. Let me see. Where's he at? Yeah, because my father texted me this in the middle of the show. So their 3-point shooter, Davis Bertans, went 0 for 4 tonight from the field.
Oh, lovely.
All 4, of course, were threes. Had 2 rebounds, no assists, 6 fouls in 24 minutes of play. Yeah. My dad made it a point to text that to me today while we were on the air. So yeah, there's about under a minute to go, and they only scored 93 points. They need more production from the rest of the squad. Gafford has been playing the way that I've expected him to play, putting up 10-5, 10-6. Ish Smith, another vet on that team, is giving me quality minutes off the floor. But once again, this team, dude, they're 2 for 21 from 3. Dude, the both of us combined hit 2 less threes than they did today as a team.
Yeah.
And we're sitting here. They only hit 2 threes. 2. Can't win like that.
It's a huge uphill battle. I know you guys are much better at home. Much better at home than y'all on the road anyway, but it's gonna be an uphill battle for you guys. Yeah, but props to making the playoffs. I mean, props. No one expected you. I mean, especially where you guys were at 17 and 32.
Yeah.
Making the run that you guys did to get into the play-in tournament and then get the 8th seed. Hey.
I mean, yeah, I get it. Yeah, hooray, we made the playoffs. But, this is a very young team. A lot of these guys are getting their first ever playoff experience, like Rui, Lynn, Neto, Gill, Bertans. So yeah, a lot of those guys that are getting quality minutes in this organization, this is their first playoff run, period. Yeah. So yeah, this is still a learning on the job situation for them. And it's showing right now. The thing is, though, of course, they're gonna have to clean up a lot of this stuff when they get back to the crib, when they get back to the wallet, the Capital One Center. Or Capital One Arena, I'm sorry. But yeah.
What's in your wallet? Okay.
Yeah.
And one more game tonight, which I find very fascinating, but it's not getting talked about enough, even though it involves the top seed. Utah, Memphis. How about your boy? Even though John Morant's been playing well, how about that kid? It's on the tip of my tongue. I gotta look it up. But that Dylan kid.
Dylan, yeah.
How about him?
My sister made a running joke. She basically texted me all of the first names of the guys for the Memphis Grizzlies that were on the floor late in the fourth quarter against the Golden State Warriors, right?
Right.
And it read like the starting 5 of a private high school here in the district. And when she sent that to me, I died laughing. I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right. Dylan
Brooks. Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, Dylan. No, just the first names alone. So you got Dylan.
Yep.
What's your other boy's name? But yeah, it sounds like a private high school.
Kyle Jonas.
Kyle, yes, right. It sounds like a private high
Desmond, school. Jaron, Tyus, Grayson.
Grayson, that's another one, right? So you just look at the first names, you're like, yo, this is nothing like an NBA roster with these first names.
Right.
But they out here balling out. And this is a team that no one expected to even get into the real playoffs. Hey, they had a close win over the San Antonio Spurs, but everyone chalked them out against Golden State. And hey, thank you, Draymond, for not at least attempting to dunk that shot at the end of regulation. I don't know what you were doing. You had the lane wide open when you first got the ball, and somehow lost control of the ball, looking to get fouled, and the ball didn't hit the rim, didn't hit the backboard or the rim, and you had a wide open lane when you first got the ball.
Couldn't happen to a better guy. Couldn't happen to a better guy.
Hey, what does Charles call him? The walking single double?
Yeah.
The walking single?
Yeah.
Yeah. I swear, dude. Or the walking double single.
Double single, yeah.
I'm like, dude, the Memphis Grizzlies have been looking fantastic during the playoffs, especially behind Dylan. Everybody expected John Morant to do well. Dylan Brooks has becoming the star of the Memphis Grizzlies. He's slowly becoming, and God, I know it's hyperbolic because we're only one game in, but if he can keep up this pace, he could easily become this year's Jamal Murray.
Easily.
If he can keep up this pace. Yeah.
He's the longest tenured player. He's the longest tenured player on the team. What 4 years?
Yeah,
maybe?
Which says a lot about that organization. Yeah.
They're young.
They're very young. But, we talked about this before the playoffs even started. The 1, 2, and 3 seeds, well, actually all the top 4 seeds in the West. Denver included, because they lost game 1 to Portland. They can be had. And every one of those teams have lost at least one game so far. So the West is still up for grabs. In the way that Utah-Memphis series is looking so far, it's going to be an interesting one, but at least the Utah Jazz do get Donovan Mitchell back. So it'll be interesting to see how they look with the Spider back in that lineup, and whether or not Memphis can make adjustments.
I think
but to your point,
Go ahead.
I hope so. But to your point, real quick, because I meant to say this a while ago about Nate McMillan and coaching and how important it is. My God, what a difference the coach makes. They come in and they make that huge turnaround with an experienced coach like Nate McMillan that has had great playoff runs. If this dude is not hired, I don't know what the Atlanta Hawks are waiting on. Just go ahead and hire this dude.
They're going to find a way to fuck it up. They're going to find a way to fuck it up, which is
unless Nate is looking to go elsewhere.
Yeah,
he needs to go ahead, and he should have been signed by now. But once again, that's the difference of what the difference a great coach makes. But yeah, like we were saying about Utah, hopefully they can go ahead and potentially rebound, and it'll be interesting to see if the Memphis Grizzlies make adjustments to Utah having their best player back.
And to your point, great a difference a great coach will make. Look at Doc Rivers in Philly; they're not underachieving. Whereas in the Brett Brown, they underachieved every single year. Coach Tibbs in New York established a culture. Then we're now back in the lead. We had the lead. It's about to be tied up again. But anyway, we made a come back in the third quarter.
But hey, sorry though, Doc. You are being handed a box of donuts right now and then watching the Wizards.
That's true.
Eat those up, baby.
Krispy Kreme. That's Krispy Kreme and barbecue chicken at the same time.
Yeah, but thankfully he's not messing this up, because once again he does have the propensity, but he is being handed some donuts right now, some good ones too. So yeah.
But getting back to Utah, I was mentioning the coaching, because Quinn Snyder, I remember him. He's the Duke guy. He played at Duke. He was Coach K's assistant for a while. And then he went to Missouri, where he did okay, but it was like he had a scandal or two there as far as NCAA issues were concerned. But when he ended up in Utah, somehow, he's done nothing but well.
Yeah.
Give the man props. And he has a great coaching staff. He has a great culture. Looking at, Jason Terry's on TV right now. Oh, that's awesome. He's on NBATV.com. But the point is that, he's going to make the adjustments, he being Quinn Snyder. and this is going to be one interesting chess match. This is going to be a very competitive series.
Yeah.
Memphis is not scared.
No, they're not.
They are not scared. They are tough. They themselves are well coached. It reminds me not necessarily the grindhouse days of Zach Randolph and Marc Gasol in their primes.
Woo.
And
Yeah.
led by Conley, who's now in Utah, as a matter of fact,
ironically enough,
going against Memphis. But still, those are tough guys, and they're young.
Yeah.
And they're hungry. So either way, I'm looking forward to going back to Memphis. You know they're going to have, it's in the Southern City, and if everyone else in the NBA is allowing at least 10,000 fans, they're going to probably have a full house, mask or no mask. And it's going to be bananas. Beale Street's going to be bananas. That stadium, that arena, FedEx Forum rather, is right off of Beale Street. I remember when it was being built. My wife had business down there for a company before my son was born. So this is like 12, 13 years ago. And this is when they were still playing at the Pyramid.
Oh, okay.
Old school Pyramid, which is now a bass shop.
Wow.
Yeah, that bass shop. It's a Bass Shopping Pro. I forget what the chain is called. But that's what it is now. And the inside of it, man, it's nice. For a bass shop and the Pyramid, it's nice. If you're into outdoors and stuff, it's nice.
I'll say this. They do it up. They do it up. And the smaller ones I've seen have been ridiculous as is within what they currently have. I can only imagine what they could potentially do inside of what was once an NBA arena.
Bro, again, Google. You don't have to go there. If you want to, if you want to go to Beale Street to hang out and want to just as an excuse. But
Nashville's a beautiful city, yes.
Yes. Memphis, Memphis is a beautiful city.
Oh, I'm sorry, Memphis. That's right, that is Memphis.
They'll get mad at you if you confuse Memphis with Nashville. You do know that. You do know that.
I bet.
But the point is,
my apologies, Memphis. My apologies.
They'll be grinding you. But anyway, Google the pictures of Bass Pro Shop in the Pyramid. You will be like, wow. You will be like, wow. Is
that where they're headquartered at?
I don't know. I know FedEx is headquartered in Memphis. I do know that.
FedEx is,
but it'll be interesting to see if Bass Pro Shop is located there or not. But either way, just Google the damn pictures. Folks out there, if you want something cool to look, if you're outdoorsy, Google Bass Pro Shop, Memphis Pyramid. You'll be glad you did. But going back to what I was talking about, because I was down there hanging out with my wife in Memphis, and I remember it was being built. It's literally right off of Beale Street. And I could imagine walking from those restaurants, all those barbecue soul food joints along Beale Street, a lot of those bars. Memphis is a poor man's version of New Orleans. It really is. And I don't mean any disrespect with a poor man's comparison moniker, but Beale Street is a poor man's Bourbon Street. It really is. And you can have fun at Auto Spot. It's fun. Auto Spot is a lot of fun. So I can imagine how the atmosphere is going to be in Memphis come game 3, no matter what happens tonight in game 2. So it should be very, very, very interesting. I've told you, man, the NBA playoffs straight bananas.
Yeah.
It is straight bananas, and I'm loving it. It's so wide open.
It's what I expected, but even more so what I didn't expect with a couple of teams in their placements before the playoffs started. There's no way in the world you would have told me that Memphis would be doing what Memphis is doing right now, and I'm loving it. Yeah.
By the way, one last thing before we move to the HBCU Sports. I'm looking on TV right now, so I'm looking at it right like this. When your boy Russell Westbrook got hurt on the fast break, I guess he fell out of bounds. Some stupid ass fan threw popcorn on him.
See, Philly being Philly.
And Russell had to be as restrained as you could well imagine.
Of course,
from beating that dude's
you're
ass.
losing. Of course, yeah.
And then thankfully the people in the arena pointed his ass out. Security threw his ass out, and he might get his tickets revoked. So he's a jackass. So I just want to throw that out. The fan, not Westbrook, but the fan throwing popcorn on him. He's a jackass. And I hope
The
it's working.
pandemic has been releasing a lot of jackasses now. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
So let's go to HBCU Sports before I say something really mean. I know there's some things that happened this week that I know one in particular you want to get off your chest as it pertains to the NFL. So again, I'll let you go ahead. Bless us with some HBCU sports knowledge you do every week. But I'm interested to hear your take on this particular one of the particular things that has to do with the NFL.
Okay, so I'll say that for last, right? I'll say that for last.
Yes, that's
First
fine.
and foremost, I'll start early.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, in the HBCU ranks, we've had 3 athletic directors resign on Friday. Joe Horn, over at Xavier of Louisiana.
Not the former
Lynn
NFL
Thompson.
player.
No, not the former. Yes, because I was like, yo, former NFL player? No, it's not the former NFL player.
Yeah.
But Joe Horn of Xavier, Lynn Thompson of Bethune-Cookman, and a buddy of mine, Jennifer Williams, over at Alabama State. Now, it was announced, I didn't see exactly what his position was going to be, but Mr. Thompson is going to be moving on to the NCAA, while Ms. Williams will be taking on a position with USA Basketball. Mm-hmm. So congratulations to the both of them on their future endeavors. Cool. You know, I'm going to miss you guys on the HBCU level. Combined, they had about 111 conference championships between the 3 of them in their respective universities. So those 3 schools are going to have a lot of leadership to replace. And then from a personal note, Thompson and Williams were real huge in sports marketing, mm-hmm. and digital marketing and media as it pertains to HBCUs, and kind of spearheading that charge. And a lot of the marketing that they've done for their respective institutions have kind of been the pioneers to what a lot of current HBCU athletic departments are doing as it pertains to their sports marketing. And it's been something that, you know, as a sports marketer myself, things that I've been following and have been proud that they've been kind of leading that charge. Actually, Williams was kind of leading that charge at A&T while she was there, bringing me on to help out with that aspect as well. So congratulations to them. And thank you for your service while you were at your respective institutions. You will be missed. Next, of course, this week on the NCAA track side, the East and West preliminaries for the Division I outdoor track and field championships are being held. Jacksonville, Florida for the East. I can't remember the location for the West. There's several representatives from HBCUs in the West. But there's a combined 67 reps from HBCUs in the prelims. But in the East, we've already had some qualifiers from HBCUs already. We've had some representatives make it from the long jump for the men's. We also had a couple of guys make it from the men's 100 meter, moving on to the quarterfinals. Same thing could be said for the what is this? It is the men's 400 and the men's 110 and 800 meter, moving on to the quarterfinals in those events. There was a couple of more events where there were HBCU reps participating in as the show started. So I will be catching up with those. If you would like, you can follow me at the Yard HBCU to get those updates of everyone who has qualified so far in the preliminaries to either advance to the quarterfinals, which will take place for the men on Friday, or for those like the long jump who automatically move on to the finals in Eugene coming up next month. The biggest news, the one that Scott really wants me to talk about,
is
the news that dropped today. The NFL and Reese's Senior Bowl have come together to start another HBCU Combine. So this one would actually be officially affiliated with the NFL.
Yes.
It was believed that the one that took place this year was, Apparently it wasn't, because that one, will also take place again next year at UAB, but this was going to be taking place in February. So we got yet another HBCU Combine. As much as I love to see that there's so many different outlets for HBCUs to be exhibited on, and for these student athletes to be evaluated. I've said it before. In fact, let me take this out so you can see my eyes, right? I've said it before, and I'll say it again.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I love to see this happening, right?
Right.
And hopefully I will be there at the various HBCU All-Star games, the HBCU Legacy Bowl, which is going to be an All-Star game that's taking place. This HBCU Combine, which is going on. And then there are other ones that have been going on for years, like the HBCU Spirit of America Bowl, which I've been attending from like 2015 up until 2019, 2020 actually, right before the pandemic. So there are outlets for these athletes to be seen. And now we have a couple of more that are actually affiliated with the league. I'm saying it before and I said it again. The issue is not being seen.
Right.
The issue is for these guys, for these organizations to take a chance by selecting these guys in the draft. Now, there were several guys who were picked up as undrafted free agents, and my belief, and I'm hoping to talk to others about this, especially those that have actually gone through this process. My belief is that if you're not drafted by the 5th round, your best bet is to go undrafted.
Right.
Because you can negotiate similar money as a 5th or 6th or 7th rounder.
Right.
And you have the ability to choose where you want to go.
That's
and
correct.
Get a little bit more.
People don't know that. People don't know that.
People don't know that.
If it's being undrafted is not the worst thing in the world, especially if you're talented.
Yes.
It's not you can pick your destinations. For example, if you're a quarterback, you don't want to go to a place where they have deep people, like deep talent in the quarterback room. Same with any other position player. You could literally pick your destination, have your agent negotiate with the general manager or whoever. They'll sign you. You get a legit shot of making the team. Yeah.
So, I've been saying that for years. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing for this game to happen.
Sure.
Because on the outside, looking in, this is something that is heavily needed. Right?
Right.
My thing is, if NFL GMs and owners were to do their job, because they have scouts. Scouts go out and they see these guys on a regular basis.
Sure
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I've seen these scouts at various events. They're there. These scouts are evaluating NFL talent. They're already seeing these guys. They know who these guys are. If you hear them talking about by analysts, that means the scouts know who they are.
Right. They have to. You figured that.
They have to.
Yeah, you figure that. Yeah.
If they're not doing their job and they need to be fired. If you see these HBCU cats written about on websites and there's discussion about them potentially being taken in the late rounds or as an undrafted free agent, if they're writing about them, scouts know about them. The problem is that NFL GMs and owners just aren't taking chances on these guys.
Right. And
they're being lazy. I've said it before and I'm saying it again. And over the past 2 years, unfortunately, this pandemic has given them an excuse to do so. Right? Everyone wants to say that it's because of the you're not getting the opportunity to see these guys. You don't have to. No, it's not. There were tons of guys taken in this past draft that did not play in the fall last year. The last time that they took the field was 2019, like a lot of these other HBCU guys that were not drafted.
Right.
So what is the excuse?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't tell me they don't have no tape, because them dudes ain't had no tape in 2020.
Right.
There were several guys taken in the first round that didn't have no 2020 tape.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, they're first round talent. Yeah, I'll give you that. But you can't tell me it's because they ain't got no tape. They got tape and they got quality tape. A lot of these guys were leading their respective conferences in statistical categories. But because a lot of these other guys are in programs that we see on TV on a regular basis, it's easy for them to say that they play against great competition. But dude, if you're the third or fourth receiver on the team, there's no way in the world you get enough playing time.
Right. You're
But
drafted off of potential at that point, which you
yes,
shouldn't
you're
be
drafted
drafted
off
off of
potential.
potential. Just draft off of what you see on tape.
Yes. So who has more potential? The fourth string dude at Ole Miss, or the dude that's leading the conference in receiving yards and touchdowns?
I'm gonna ask you. Let's just get it out the way. Let's just get to the point of all this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you a very rhetorical question. At least for me, it is.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck do you think it is that the real reason why a lot of these scouts aren't doing the due diligence in these HBCU leagues?
I'll say
players.
I just said it. Say it again. I'll continue to say it. I'll say it next week. Say it next year until they change my mind. They're lazy. They're lazy. This is not even just necessarily an HBCU issue, even though the HBCU numbers have been dropping year after year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And for it to be one last year and none this year is preposterous. But the thing that is also, the number that has also been on a decline, that has been shameful as well, is the amount of guys taken from the FCS level as a whole, the FCS and D2 level as a whole. As a matter of fact, out of the 7 guys, was it 7 or 9? It was 7. Out of the 7 guys taken in this year's draft from the FCS in Division 2 level, 6 of those guys were taken from 3 teams. Again, lazy. So yeah, that's exactly what it is, dude. But my God, when you've had several teams, you had multiple teams that had more selections from their institutions than you did from the FCS Division 2 and Division 3 levels combined, it's shameful. It is.
So,
and like I said before, to use COVID as a veil to say that, oh, we didn't get a chance to see him or speak to him. Dude, Zoom exists. There's so many video conferencing programs that exist where you can talk to these guys. But the thing is, and I get it, they might not trust them by just talking to them this way. They need to get in front of them. But dude, you had your opportunities to meet with these guys.
You have tape.
You're just being lazy.
You have game tape.
You have tape.
You have game tape. Let's call for this. You had game tape. And again, I'm glad you brought the point of this not just being a solely HBCU issue.
You know what? It would be so easy to be conspiracy theory, brother, and be like, yo, they just hating against black schools. And as much as I want it to be, I don't at the same time, because I don't want it to be a racist issue.
Sure.
But it is an issue for HBCUs.
Right.
Because there were none taken.
Right.
But to see that number go from like 25 to 30 on a regular basis for the FCS level to drop down to 6 in 2 years consecutively. Well, I should say it's about 13 total taken over the past 2 years, which is still 10 less taken in 2019. Still 10 less. So that number is dropping everywhere else, but it's really it's really seen on the HBCU level, which is why I think everybody is going ahead and doing whatever they can to help out. But I don't know necessarily if this helps out. Once again, I hope that now you have Deion Sanders and his influence under that belt now, and you'll have one of his classes able to be drafted in this year's draft. Same thing with Eddie George, and potentially his influence if they have some players over at Tennessee State. I know Tennessee players are like, yes, we can ball. Show me. Okay. But yeah, we'll have some guys, and this won't be a COVID year. So I'll be intrigued to see exactly how this draft class goes, because I was hoping for better this year because we knew what this year would be like, and they still didn't. It still didn't prove themselves to be any better. Matter of fact, it got worse.
Let me ask you this right quick before we end the segment. Remember, you obviously watched the SWAC championship game. Remember that kid from Alabama? Was it Alabama A&M, right?
Alabama A&M, Akil Glass, yes, sir.
Yes. They watched. I watching the game and hearing the commentators talk about him. He's considered NFL talent. I know he's not going out this year. Is he a junior? Was he a junior?
He's a senior. Actually, he's there as a grad student, so he still has one more year of eligibility.
Oh, okay. So he's going to ball one more year. People say he's a legit NFL prospect. So what are your thoughts on that? Do you think he's going to get some shine?
I believe he's a NFL he's NFL ready. The thing is, will they take a chance on him? Because dude, the last time they took a chance on the NFL HBCU, the NFL teams took a chance on the HBCU QB, if memory serves me, is Tavares Jackson, God rest him, out of Alabama State, who was playing with the Minnesota Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see if they take a chance on this dude by drafting him, because there were a lot of people who believed that God, and it's bad that I forgot what his name is. I see his face out of Bowie State. Excuse me. In 2019, Amir Hall was NFL caliber because 6'5", 215, 220. You know, he had the frame, had the cannon, had the arm on him to at least be looked at. They didn't even look at him. Now he got evaluation in the XFL. Unfortunately, didn't make it to one of those rosters, but they didn't even look at him on the NFL. But they didn't even bring him to anybody's camp on the NFL level.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, he has the tape, and a lot of people like him, but we'll see whether or not they take that chance on him.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. It's ongoing. I mean, you see my hands. What can you do? Hopefully, even though we sound a little bit hopeless, but hopefully guys like Deion Sanders and the coaches in the SWAC who are organizing the HBCU Combine, their own HBCU Combine. Hopefully that guys like Deion and other guys who connects will continue to beat that drum on their behalf. At least that's good that Deion's doing.
I'll say this though, because all the coaches do it. They've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
It's just that, of course, Deion is a personality. He's extremely vocal, and he's a vocal personality that people will listen to. So everyone's like, "Oh, now these coaches have been doing it for years. They've been doing it." And I'm not saying that to take anything away from Deion. I congratulate him and thank him for doing that as well. He's kind of doing his job though. But once again, I'm not trying to belittle him for what he's doing. I thank him for doing that and being more in people's face about it. I'm just waiting to see whether or not NFL teams will actually do something now about it.
Right.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'll be thankful if it works, but I'm also going to say it's going to be sad that it worked, that it took a Deion Sanders and an Eddie George to be hired on the NFL ranks for HBCU athletes to be respected.
Yeah.
For HBCU athletes to be respected by NFL coaches and owners and GMs, because it's the same talent, it's the same guys, it's for the most part the same coaches. Give them the same respect, dude. My God, they come out here and they work hard just like everybody else. And they got the talent. They putting up the numbers. Just not taking a chance on these dudes. So yeah.
It is what it is, brother. We'll see. Knocking on wood, not too sure.
I'm knocking on everything right now, man. Everything.
Knock everything down. Which takes us to a random shit segment. The gift that keeps on giving, KwameBrown.
Boy, listen.
Dude's already up to 250, I think he's past 250,000 followers now. Before he was
That's
less
crazy.
than 100,000. He was probably less than 50,000 before. But dude's going after, he's still going, it's not getting old. I mean, look, I'm for the petty. Again, my mature side, my 47-year-old mature side is screaming in my head to just let it go. To implore him, just let it go. He's lived a good life. He has all accounts. He has a house. He owns land. He speaks on behalf of young Black males. He's a father. But this petty man, my petty side, has been overruling my mature side for the past 2 weeks. This is hilarious. Thank you, KwameBrown. Thank you for making me laugh during the workday while I do work and listen to you on your videos on YouTube, just trashing the likes of Stephen A. Smith, and he's getting cool again with Steven Jackson. They played together. So he said himself, like, Jackson and I are gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. It's just that the Becky.
You probably called him and cussed his ass out.
I'm sure they cussed each other. I'm sure they cussed each other's asses out. But I think they're good now. I think they're on the way to being good again. It's just that with Matt Barnes, aka Becky with the good hair, aka pretty ass Elder Barnes looking motherfucker, aka the tough version of Bruno Mars, aka the yellow glow stick. He's not letting off of him anytime soon. He's not letting off of Charlemagne the God anytime soon as well as DJ Envy, calling him a bitch ass for letting his wife punk him. He is not.
So now he's going after Envy now?
He's been going after him. Shortly after he started going after Charlemagne the God, he went after DJ Envy. He's been going after Angela Yee as well, because of how he says that she doesn't really defend Black women, referring to when they made who's the name of that dancer? Not Remy Ma, because Remy Ma's a rapper. Little Ma. Is it Little Ma or Little Mo? Made her cry. Apparently someone on the show made her cry. It said something that made her cry.
Wow.
And I guess Angela Yee didn't protect her. I guess woman to woman. So I guess Kwame is referring to that. But the point is that he's been going and he's calling for people to boycott the Breakfast Club until Charlemagne the God gets his predator ass fired. That's his words. Calls him a predator. What he did to that, or if it was last year happened with that underage girl.
Yeah.
He's bringing that up a lot. So
yeah,
he was hit with a cease and desist, and of course Kwame clowned that to the point where Charlemagne apparently apologized to him. I don't think he's really accepting that. Stephen A. apologized to him. He obviously didn't accept that. So
then all these members are apologizing to Kwame.
I'm here. Look, I just want this thing. I want to continue because I want a good daily laugh. He puts out a video every day, and I just want to laugh. I just want to continue to laugh. I want to continue to laugh at the pettiness, but it's a shit show now. But it's a funny shit show.
Oh yeah. My thing is, man, as funny as it is, and I said this before the show, at some point we all get tired of listening to cannabis talking about LL Cool J or 50 Cent talking about Ja Rule. Give us something new sooner or later, because dude, you got the people now. You got them. To sustain this. Yeah, you have the ability to actually have something here, Kwame. And a lot of people are enjoying this. But yeah, for you just to be constantly coming out and spewing hate, man. I mean, if that's you, man, do you. We see how this works out, man.
This is him. He's petty. He's petty and he's funny as hell. That's the thing. I mean, it also helps that the people he's going after, a lot of people don't like. A lot of people don't like Stephen A. Smith. Quite a few people don't like Matt Barnes.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like Charlamagne the God.
Yeah.
So, and also throw this in here too. Oh, my Knicks are about to win. We're up by 9 points. So a minute 13 left to go. Please don't pull a Reggie Miller with Trae Young. Do not do it. Anyway,
you know that's possible.
I'm still scarred. I'm still scarred. I'm still in therapy. That was in 1995, 96, 95. I'm still in therapy over that. That was 26 years ago. I'm still in therapy. But anyway, the point is, before I really become sad, he's been recently going after Rob Parker and Chris Broussard.
Them two.
He called Rob Parker a milk dud having all around a milk dud, all around ugly motherfucker. He called Chris Broussard. He said, "What color is Chris Broussard? What's that clear ass, red hair looking inward? What the hell is he? Is he yellow? He just looks gray."
You know what the irony is on this? This is the same thing that got people to hating Chris Broussard with his comments that he made about Brittle Bob. You know, when he said that Bob Griffin was corny,
yeah,
because of his hairstyle and the way that he acted.
Rob Parker said that.
Rob, was that? Oh, that's right. That was Rob.
It's Rob Parker. It's Rob Parker.
Yeah, because Chris is NBA. But yeah, Rob Parker. That's the same thing that got everybody against Rob, and now he's going to have to Rob the same way. But you know, Kwame's platform is a lot different, so we don't care. I'm
here for the penny. I'm here for the penny.
Oh my God!
I mean, when he first called Chris Broussard, he calls and asks, "What color is Chris Broussard?" I laugh out loud. And you know, to Chris Broussard's and Rob Parker's credit, they got a kick out of it. They're getting a kick out.
Yeah, it's funny, but you know what?
Yeah.
Once again, better them than me.
Yeah.
Because they start saying something about the Klown Times.
Yeah.
Kwame, I'm firing your ass up. I'm fine. You want? Hey.
Hopefully, let's hope he's for the common people. Let's hope he's for the common folk. Let's hope he's for the common folk.
Ooh, you better leave me alone, Kwame. You better leave me alone, boy. I'll be up in here.
Show us some love, Kwame. Show us some love, brother. Please show some brothers some love.
It better be love, because I'll be in here shirtless.
Get some free mug.
Putting up bars. Kwame, you don't want this heat. Keep it over there. You don't want it. Just like, you know what you said about DC dudes in your first video.
Yeah.
Northeast DC all day right here, playing.
That's right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. He said about DC guys and Detroit guys, he doesn't fuck with. He doesn't fuck with out of those guys. DC guys and Detroit guys. Doesn't fuck with any of those guys. Because
I ain't nobody's tough guy, but you know, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anything funny that we didn't cover for.
Oh yeah, two random shit moments.
Sir.
First and foremost, this was released earlier today by the Burgundy blog on Twitter. He has a blue check, so you know, might be official. Says nothing imminent. These things take months and sometimes. Oh yeah, the whole wording of this is bad, but these things take months and sometimes break down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I have on good authority that Jay-Z is actively divesting assets to position himself for purchase of stake in the Washington football team.
Remember when people called him a sellout? I call him a sellout too. When he originally sided with the NFL after he wanted to like do some social justice work and struck that deal with them. And you said, and I remember your quote, "Let the pizza bake."
Yeah.
He's going to do some work from inside. Oh, I'm watching the Garden right now. I'm watching the next game. They're about to win. They're serenading the Hawks. They are clowning the Hawks right now. It's great to see the Garden back. They said some people would rather fuck the Hawks and try to Trae Young. This is awesome. This is fucking awesome. We're back. We're back.
I'll allow
baby.
you to have your moment, young man.
The Knicks are back, baby. We are back. Take that, Trae Young. Take that. Oh, they're cheering Trae Young as he's walking out. They're just cheer his ass. Randall has a lot to say. Julius Randle has a lot to say to the Hawks. Yes, I am loving it. I am loving it. Woo! Mind you, we haven't won the series yet, but damn it, I'm excited. Damn it, I'm excited. Our first playoff win in 10 years. What's up? What is up? That's all. Sorry to steal your thunder. But I just saw my beloved Knicks in the Madison Square Garden where all the mecca of basketball. We took it home, baby. Those damn Hawks. Fuck the Hawks. Fuck you, Trae Young. Fuck you, Nick McMillan, for saying that the NBA wants us to do well. I'm happy. I'm pumped. I still respect you guys. You guys still play very well. I still scared the hell of me. But still, we're back, baby. For one game. And it's game 2. I'm pathetic. I'm sorry. I'm pathetic. But still, it's been a long time coming. My dad is watching from above, happy as hell as well. Anyway, sorry about that.
Yeah, because I'm looking at this thing.
I'll turn back to you. I'm sorry. I just totally stole your random shit.
Oh, no, because this random shit moment is a big one. I just got this text not too long ago. So remember the whole big deal with Julio Jones and his appearance on the Undisputed a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
With
Shannon Sharp
and Skip Bayless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are we at? Let me just make sure I get it from the good part, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we already know. Of course, he made the infamous comment of "I'm out of here and I ain't going to Dallas, man. I never thought about going to them." You know, of course, yeah, he made that huge news on the Undisputed. But where are we at right here? Blah blah blah. Yeah. We don't need none of that. Let's get to the good part. There we go. But both Jones and Sharp would have needed prior knowledge of the call being aired and recorded. Sharp could face a misdemeanor charge for violation of California Penal Code Section 632, although a complaint will have to be filed. The misdemeanor charge calls for a $2,000 fine and or a year in jail. So it ain't big money.
What?
And the thing is, and or. Says a spokesperson from the LA Police Department told FOS Tuesday that no complaint had been filed. So yeah, that's if. And I doubt very soon. I don't even know. This is crazy. Somebody was really, really hoping that a file was charged on this. Because remember, I don't know if you heard, there's reports from his agent, from Julio Jones's agent, that the call, he didn't realize that it was being aired on television and that he had to be reminded by the host to remind him that, hey, we're on TV. And Shannon didn't say until the end of the conversation, hey, let me call you back, dog. We're on TV. So that was his only acknowledgement that they were on television at the time during the call. And you could probably tell that he didn't know because Skip was whispering during the whole conversation. But yeah, they're saying now that if someone files a complaint against the show for airing this, that I guess they could be fined and face jail time because of it.
Something tells me he and Julio and Shannon have to be very close for him to be able to call him like that. And for him to, for Julio answers the phone, he called him Unc, like a lot of players, NFL players who look up to him.
Yeah.
So I don't, something tells me that the most Julio Jones will do to Shannon is give him a hard time about it.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna do shit about it. I don't think he's gonna be mad about it. I mean, he's like, whatever. He's like, oh, whatever, man. He said, I'm still out of it. I'm still out of here.
Yeah, so, exactly, right? Yeah, so I'm mad at the big time sports website. I'm not saying no names. All I know is that they're slowly getting out of the magazine business right now, who even took the time to write this article to talk about the impending doom that ain't gonna happen. You out here being Chicken Little. The sky is not gonna fall, dude.
Right.
Because they're not gonna place no charges.
Right.
Get out of here, man. I thought it was gonna be something big with all of that rah-rah. It's bigger news that Jay-Z is interested in potentially becoming a partial owner of the Washington football team and what that could potentially mean for the organization and the news of them looking to get a stadium back in the city again. I'm intrigued to see how this pans out.
Yeah, California. Go figure. Anyway, I guess we can call it, man.
Yeah, man.
Thank y'all for tuning into tonight's podcast. I hope you didn't laugh at me for being overly excited of a single game win, game one, and like in the series, even though I'm still happy.
All of this, I chuckled all of the inside in here. But you know what? Your response and your comments about your father made it real touching. That's why I was like, you know what? Nah, I get it. I get it.
I still can't believe I'm saying the phrase "watch it from above."
Yeah,
that still moves. I'm probably going to cry after this is over. But anyway, but thank y'all for indulging the two of us and joining this show tonight. Please, again, check out Dwayne on this HBCU Sports, reps for all things HBCU Sports. Sleazy Radio as well on Tuesday, every Tuesday on Facebook Live. Please check those brothers out. They do great stuff on that. Please check them out. Also, herosports.com. You're going to hear more of this about FCS. Remember, as we're talking about the NFL being lazy. So hopefully you see more stuff on there as well, not only from him, but from others. So please check that out as well. Get the merch, please. CafePress.com.
Get the merch.
There you go. Go to the search for the Clown Time Sports. The link will be in the description below this video. And last but not least, please subscribe. You'll be glad you did. We'll be glad you did. Thank y'all for subscribing, breaking the communities of almost to 100, close to 100. So that's awesome. Again, when I reboot this channel, we start from 7 in late November to now 82. So we need some more to get us over the hump and just make this thing go downhill from there. So in a good way.
Yes, sir.
You wanted to go down here and pick up more, right? Snowball going down the hill. And last but not least, please wash your hands, wear a mask. Please get vaccinated.
Speaking of, real quick, LeBron James, you got away with one.
Oh.
If your name was not LeBron James, you would have been suspended for either that Golden State game or the round one game against the Phoenix Suns.
That's such bullshit, man. How did he not get suspended and play some protocol anyway?
Because he's LeBron James.
Yeah, I know.
The excuses that I've been hearing on why it was okay for him to do so, number one being that he was outside. He's fine. Dude, don't matter. He can still catch it. He can still pass it on to somebody else because the thing is, he hasn't been vaccinated yet.
Right.
He hasn't been vaccinated yet. His responses to being vaccinated is, it's me and my family's business.
Oh my God.
Sorry about that.
No, yeah, I'm about to cut somebody out. So let's just wrap this shit up now. Take care. We'll see you next week. Remember, folks, double standards do exist. Take care.
Take care of yourself, folks.
Peace out.